Hello, my crafty friends. If you're watching the replay, um, I am going to make a new everything book. And I decided while I was doing it, I might as well go ahead and turn on the camera and see if there's anybody still awake to chat with me, or if you all are maybe asleep now because you were on the streamathon all night. But anyway, I'm here. I went to bed about midnight, and so I got up and I'm going to make a new book. Um, One of the things that I like about the everything book is just I can put whatever I want to in there. It's not dedicated to one certain thing. I do put Happy Mail in it for sure. And sometimes I put Hannah's art in it when she gives me a reject piece that she doesn't want to keep. Um, and sometimes I do my own art in it or just do a collage for fun or whatever. But but I like having one. I've enjoyed doing that. Last year I did everything books, and I enjoyed them. So I wanted to make another one um, to start this new year with. These are the papers I'm planning to put inside of it. At least at the moment, that's what I'm thinking. And this is the book cover I'm going to use. It's been very well. It's I don't know if loved is the right word, but it has been very used anyway. So I'm gonna there's not much left to do to take it apart. In fact, I can probably that was easy. Um this book is from 1906, I think. 1906. So I may try to scan a few of the at least the pictures and a few of the pages and see if I can make those into a PDF. If I can, I'll make those available to you when I get that done. So, hi, Mina. Happy New Year. Well, Darren had to go ahead and go into work today. It was either today or tomorrow, and he said he'd rather have tomorrow off so that he could have Saturday and Sunday off. And so he went ahead and went into work. So I decided I might as well come on out here and do some stuff that I need to do. Hi, Kendra. It's good to see you. Um, Save that because you never know. This book cover is very, very weak. I don't know if you can see how see through that fabric is, but it's definitely going to have to be reinforced before I can do anything else to it. So, so I'm going to take this paper out. And I'm just going to kind of clean it over the. Hi, Deborah. Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm making a new everything book, and I decided I would see if there were people who were wanting to chat with me while I did it. Okay, let me just dump that stuff in the trash. This book is definitely going to have to be reinforced. So, hi, Janet. Hi, Candy. So good to see you all. I didn't know if anybody would even show up because I knew the hop lasted so long into the early morning hours. I figured some of you might be still in bed. Oh, I couldn't stay up that long and watch it, so I'll have to watch the replay. But um, I am going to go ahead and put some Tyvek in here because that I know will do a good job of reinforcing the spine, and I want to keep the spine because I want the book cover to be just the way it is. When I don't want it to look, I don't want to decorate it or anything. I just want to use it the way it is. Hi, Nashwa. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Happy New Year. Anyway, so I need to get some Tyvek. And I have this here that was part of a part of a bag. I guess it's a shipping bag, but not sure how wide I want it, but I do want to straighten it up with a cutter and not try to cut it myself because I'm not good at cutting straight. Hi, Sherry. It's good to see you. Oh, I tell y'all what I should be doing. I should be working on trying to straighten up my studio. I really wanted to get that done before the new year, and it didn't happen. Part of it is because I like all my stuff. I don't want to get rid of anything, but I like it all. It all brings me joy. Oh, I need to do sides before I do that because I now have a straight edge. Hi, Therese. I have not seen you in a long time. I'm so glad you're here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Sheila. I'm glad you're here. Karen Sue, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, now I can cut the top of it. Okay. And now I'll decide a width. I do want it to be wide enough that it actually does a good job supporting, but I don't want it so wide that it's like ugly. So I am going to put some fabric over it. To cover it up, but hi, Gemma. I'm glad you're here. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is always the first thing I do when I make a journal because it needs to sit before I do, bind anything into it. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I think everything will go through this through this paper. So, oh, Candy has something. Does that cutter take the L or G blade? I have no idea. I can show you what the blade looks like. I think I've replaced it, so I know it. It looks like this, and it presses down. And I don't know if that tells you anything, but it doesn't say on it what it is. Let me look at my package. It just says Furbond paper cutter, paper trimmer 5-pack. So it doesn't tell me anything. It's a point. It's a point. Yeah. It's a little sharp point. You're welcome. I really do like this trimmer. It gets dull kind of fast, but that's probably because of the way I use it. But it has this piece of wire in it that tells you exactly where it's going to cut. I really like that. I I had to order mine off of Amazon. It was the only place I could find these kinds of blades. And it is a Fiskar paper cutter. See if it says anything. It says blade style I. There you go. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to use Yes Paste for this because I think it will come through the fabric the least. I'm not positive. So, well, I just decided to come on, Becky. I'm glad you're here. I was going to, Darren had to work. He was supposed to have today off, but in order to get, when you're the bookkeeper, you know, at the end of the year, you just have to work extra. And so it was either today or tomorrow. And he decided he would rather go in tomorrow. And so I decided to make a few videos while he was at work. And while I was thinking about making a video about this, making this book, I decided I might as well just come on and find some people to chat with me. So that's why I'm here. I hope y'all are all having a happy new year. I'm happy to be in the new year. I'm probably going to have extra on the side that beyond where the Tyvek goes, just because that's the nature of trying to spread this stuff on. Well, I think Mary's hop stopped at like 5:30 this morning. I don't think it was, at least that was my understanding. I haven't gone and tried to watch any of the videos. I figured I'd do that later, so. Okay. I don't want to glue you together. Like when you're using any other kind of glue, you want to make sure you get down in this crease glued down really good before you worry about these edges out here. The hop was supposed to be 36 hours long. Okay. Well, I don't know what happened then. Maybe they couldn't find enough people to finish filling it up. I don't know. Let me look at what I see up here. Hi, Barb. It's good to see you. Oh, well. Okay. You're right. It does say that it's supposed to be all day today. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I went on and made sure I didn't see anybody streaming, in my list of people I subscribed to, and when I didn't see anybody else streaming, I decided to go ahead. Thank you, Janet. You've been playing with your kitties, so All 3 of you are going to have a great year. Well, good. Okay. Let's see if this is going to be. It is sticky back here. I'm hoping that will dry, because I knew that was very, very thin, that it was going to come through. Let me move this and clean this so I won't get more glue on it. Yeah. Well, that is sad because she worked very, very hard on that. And um, hi, Denise. It's good to see you. Hi, Sana. Hi, Nettie. It's so good to have you here. Okay. I do want, I'm going to let this set aside to dry, but I do want to, I want to measure my spine. Of course, this has to go like that. So it's not, I don't have quite all the room that it looks like I have here. And I don't have a ruler. Oh, here's one. Okay. We'll use this. Well, I'm going to need a bigger one anyway to measure pages. So, oh. That's perfect right there. That's how wide my spine is. Oh, okay. Let's see. I would say about 1¼ inches is probably the amount of space I have to work with in there. Hi, Cindy. So good to see you. Happy New Year. All right. I'm going to let this sit over here and dry. And I got out these papers to put inside it. Oh, I need to measure it. I forgot. I think this paper, which is an 8.5 by 14, I think it's the perfect size. None of the others are going to be the perfect size, but let me look and see. Well, I could measure these pages. They were inside it. Let me just do that. Okay. 7 by about 8 and a bunch. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and measure in the book so I can decide how far I want them to fill up the book. Okay. Yeah. See, these say they're 7 inches wide, but that comes right to here. So I don't want my pages that wide. So let's see what these are. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not perfect. These are 7 inches. And they will fit, but they're just right at the edge. And I really don't want them at the edge. Hi, Andrea. So good to see you. So I think I'm going to, I think I want some space to have stuff stick out a little bit. This is always the hardest part for me, is the deciding what size pages to put in. Okay, let me look at it this way. Maybe this will tell me better. Yeah. So I'm going to do 6 3/4 instead of 7. by, I need that too. I'm going to say 8.5 is fine because most of these pages are 8.5. So we're just going to let that be good. Then I'll have some room for things to stick out. So, um, well, this is 8.5. Yeah, I'm going to be happy with 8.5. I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay. Sorry. Oh, well, enjoy sewing and Happy New Year to you. And thanks for letting me know you're here. I like it when I know you're here, even if you're not going to be chatting. Okay, we're going to start with these because they're already the right height. And I'm just going to take off a little bit. Let's see. Okay, that's just like barely. So I may end up taking off more than that because I don't know if I can tear barely. I think I can do this though. So it's just a little more than. I was listening to people talk about whether or not they were going to make New Year's resolutions last night. And I usually just I mean, I have made New Year's resolutions in the past and felt guilty when I didn't live up to them. But I decided this year I'm just going to try to do better. I'm not going to have any specific resolutions. I'm just going to try to do better than last year. And so um, I'm going to try to be more optimistic. You know, those kinds of things. I'm assuming this is okay. This is not even as tall, but that's okay because I don't want everything to be the same. That's right. Virtual friends sure do count in my book. Um, I don't know if y'all realize how important you are to me and how much you enrich my life um just by watching my videos and um coming to my live streams and commenting and um sharing in Facebook what what you do. Now I haven't decided. Okay, this might be when I need to measure. I just grabbed some papers out of my dyed papers box because I'm really bad about, even though I'm trying, I still tend to hoard things, and I'm trying not to hoard things. This is going to be a use the stuff you've already got year. Um, and I'm looking forward to that because it gives me just enough perimeters to to help me out, but not feel constrained. So It's not going to be, I won't buy anything for 6 months, or I'll only use scraps or anything like that. It's just use the things I've got that I love. Um, I have them because I love them. I know that because I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of some stuff, and it's very hard because I love it. So I have decided that for the New Year's, I would like to be taller by about 4 inches. Oh, well, Andrea, I would go with that. I've always wanted to be taller. I didn't even need 4 inches. Give me 2. You'd be amazed what the difference between my height and Hannah's can do. How many things she can reach, I can't reach. And she's just a couple inches taller than me. Just give me 2 inches. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work. But if you figure it out, give me a call. Let me know how you did it. Might as well be ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. I may end up with more papers here than would be good to put in that book, but okay, I really probably should have ironed that one. That one is really it's really crumply. I really thought I did iron all of these marbled papers, but that one, well, we're going to use it anyway because I'm going to at least fold it. I may decide not to use it once I get to putting things in, but I did decide I'm going to put some of these papers in because they're precious. And it's not like I can't make more. I can make more. But I just love them. And I've been more willing to give them away than I have been to actually use them. So I'm going to use them. My thought is to make 3 signatures. It's not a very wide, it's not that wide of a spine, but I think the more signatures you have, the less alligator mouthy it is. Some of these papers, I can tell you right now, just looking at this stack, that some of these papers are not going to get used. But I wanted to have a variety. This is cardstock, so it's probably the one I shouldn't use. But I like the color. And I wanted to have some of it in here. So, oh, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Denise. Thanks, Barb. Yeah, I need to do some more marbling because I am getting kind of low on those papers, even though I'm not using them much. But and I do like the ones that were marbled along with the avocado die. I think I would like to oh, I forgot. Look at this paper. These stuck together in the dyeing process. That doesn't always happen. In fact, it's kind of rare, but these definitely stuck together. I'm not sure. Not sure what's going on. I may just use them as one page. I need to use them for something, right? Might as well be this. But I will have to trim it. It doesn't take a ton of skins, Barb. Well, it depends. If you're talking onion skins, yes. If you're talking avocados, it doesn't take a ton. I don't know, Sherry. When I tried doing it when they were still a little bit damp, thinking that would help, and it didn't. So I waited till they were dry. I don't know. I'm just going to let it be and make it into a page. So we're gonna I think I want to leave that down there because that looks interesting. Well, according to this, it's just 8.5 like that. So I guess I can just leave it like this and use it as one. Oh, wow. That is expensive. Okay. That is obviously too many papers. Somebody told me that if you, and I can't remember who it was now, that if you want it to be more pink and less brown, only use the pits and not the skins. I like the brownish color and less pink and more brown. So I'll probably continue to use everything, but there you go. It was Denise. It was Denise. Okay, now this looks weird to only have one page that's that wide. See, I wasn't thinking. Well, I usually use the pits and the seeds together. Hi, Patricia. Okay, so that's a little concerning. Because see, I wasn't thinking. I was just folding, and I intended to fold these wider and have them less wide on one side, and I didn't. So now I've got all these papers that are folded just like this, which, to be honest, if I refold them, then that it doesn't work as well when you've got them folded like this and then you refold them a different way. So I think I'm going to save these for another journal. Hi, Lucia. So good to see you. So we did all that work for nothing. Well, not for nothing. They'll go in a different journal. But I do want pages this size. And so I meant to take them and fold them, where they were short on one side and long on one side, and then add paper to the short side was my plan. And I forgot my plan while I was talking to y'all. Well, yeah, but I like the cover I chose, so I'll always find another book to put those in. That's not a problem. Plus, I've already got the spine supported on this one. I am going to go ahead and glue before I start over looking for papers. I'm going to go ahead and glue some fabric in here. Let's see what I've got that'll look good in there. Not wide enough. Okay, the width is going to be our issue, I think. Oh, this might work. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, I'll have to leave one side as the selvage and the other side torn, instead of like I usually have it torn on both sides, but and I am going to let this go all the way a little bit past the end. Okay, let's. One good thing about having a bag of scraps handy, you can always find something. Okay. I'm going to use this Scotch glue stick because it works really well to glue fabric down. And this one is almost empty. Okay. I love them too. They're not my very favorite, but they are my second favorite. And for fabric, I think they may be my favorite because they really do fabric really well. Um, these are my favorites right here, the Elmer's Extreme. They're harder and harder to get, and I can only find them on Amazon right now. Tanya can find them at her Michaels. I haven't seen them at my Michaels, but even if you find them at Michaels, you have to have a coupon or they're ridiculously expensive. So, um, but so I've found them on Amazon, and for a while there on Amazon, they were costing so much I wouldn't even buy them. But I did find them for a cheaper price not too long ago, so I ordered me some more. So I was happy to see that. They were like, it was like $17 for 8 of them, which is a good price. So um, that still makes them more expensive than, the Dollar Tree ones or whatever. But um, I really love that. One thing I like about these over the Create is that these are not sticky. They're not, when you pick up that Scotch Create, it leaves strings. It's very gooey. And these are not as gooey, but they really do a good job of sticking down. They're not as, and I've tried a ton of different kinds, and most of them work okay. These are just my favorite. These are my favorite. Okay, got to find a place to set that. All right. Okay. That, I think that looks really pretty with that cover, doesn't it? Okay. Now we're going to set it back over here and let it dry. And I'm going to find some more papers that I can make this size. And I have some that I haven't been using. So we're gonna use this precious stuff. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Come back, come back. Okay, now these are bigger, but I haven't used them for anything. These were some of them were tea dye, coffee dyed, and some of them are onion skin dyed. So I can cut these down to a size that will work. Thank you, Janet. Okay. And then we will stick some of these papers we'll stick in too, but I want a majority of the papers to be bigger and just have the other ones in because they're fun. It's fun to have different sizes. Oh, okay. I haven't tried any of the Scotch glues that are not a stick. All of the other Scotch glue sticks I tried, I did not like. But the Scotch Create, I like it. And like I said, it's my second favorite glue stick. Okay. We're going to just fold these and then tear them down to the right size. And since I have enough to tear with these, I think I'm going to use my my tear ruler that I made so that they will be have raggedy edges. I like that look. Yeah, I have a wish list on Amazon too, Sherry. I always got things on my wish list. And I did order that. I finally decided on the little word stamp or letter stamp that I've been wanting to order for a long time and had even set the money aside for. And then, but I couldn't decide whether I wanted 8, 12, or 16 letters. And 16 just seemed like it would be overkill. So I got the 12, and hopefully it will be here before Thursday next week so I can use it when we're doing our words thing. But that was one that I had even set aside money for months ago. I just never made myself make the decision which one I was going to get until last night. Yes, thank you for your thumbs. I appreciate the thumbs. I don't talk about it a lot, just like I don't talk about wanting you to subscribe and share and all those things, and comment, but I really do appreciate it when you do. One reason I don't talk about it a lot is because I'm not a salesman, and that's how it makes me feel when I do that. I feel like I'm selling myself, and I figure I subscribe to anybody that I want to, and you will do the same, and so I don't worry about it. But I do know that when it comes to YouTube, the people with the bigger channels are the ones who, tell you, please subscribe. So I know that method works. I just, it's just not why I'm here. I'm here because I love y'all and I want to share what I do. I love what I do, and that's why I'm here. So. Yes, and some of them I will. Karen, that's true. Some of them I will. I meant to do that when I was thinking about this in advance, but I get here and get to chatting and I forget what I planned to do. Oh, thank you, Janet, and I do appreciate it. I do. I appreciate everything that my moderators do for me. Y'all are indeed a blessing. The only reason I feel safe doing live streams is because I know y'all are there for me. Okay. Now, see, there's room to fold this way. There's also room to fold up and make pockets, which I want to do too. So I know, Sherry, the mail it's bad here in the States, but it's even worse trying to get, across international lines from, it doesn't matter where you are. Okay. Well, I guess we're just going to start with one. And I am going to fold it. We'll fold this side too. I'm going to do 3 like this. And then I'm going to do 3 because I'm going to tear these, but I want to go ahead and fold them first. And then I'm going to do 3 that are folded up from the bottom so that they're making a pocket. And these could be turned into tuck spots, or they could use, you know, to flip out. Either way. Okay. All right. So here's 3 of these. Hey, Imelda. I'm glad you're here. Happy New Year. Okay. And I want these to be torn on both top and bottom, so I'm going to put this in here and tear them like this. Well, actually, I'm going to do this because I tear better from this side. Oh, I was going to use my tear ruler. I guess I'll use it on the other one. See, I didn't pay attention. Oh, and I got these too wide. Oh, no. Okay. It just looked like it. These are still torn. They still are better than cut. But I can't think and talk at the same time. Save all these because we're going to use them. Hi, Barbara. So good to see you. Okay. Let me get that other ruler so I'll have it here when it comes time. And for those of you that don't know, I did do a video on how to make one of these. And I just used a ruler from Dollar Tree. You could use a ruler from Walmart or anywhere, but so for $1 you can make yourself, and a pair of pliers, you can make yourself a tear ruler. Well, hello, nature loving Froggy. Do you want us to call you Froggy, or do you have another name you would like us to call you? Because I have a list. I keep a list of people's real names. Barb's back to cat and dog herding. Oh, thank you, Janet. Okay, and these I'm going to fold up. Hi, Annie. So good to see you, and thank you. I'm happy to know that you like my videos. It does help me, you know, emotionally to know that people like my stuff. Okay, we're going to make some more of these. Lemon Zinger tea today. Oh, cool. I would love to see how those papers turn out. Okay, one more of these. Helen. Well, I'm so glad to know. That's the one thing about commenting that um is that I don't know you're here unless you'd say something. But I'm happy to know that you love my channel, and I'm happy to have you here. I'm going to write you down on my list so next time I can call you by name. Thank you, Helen. From England. Well, I'm glad you're here from England. And I'm glad I have this chance to get to know some people from England, because how else would I have that chance? I don't have the money to go over to England and get to know people, which I would love to do. But I can get to know y'all here, and that makes me happy. Okay. Somehow that looks wrong. I guess it just looks wrong because it's so wide. Okay. And the Netherlands, yes, and the Netherlands and Australia, and I can get to know people from everywhere, and I just think that is so awesome. There are a lot of things about our modern world that I don't think are necessarily an upgrade from from earlier times, but the chance to know people from all over the world is definitely an upgrade. And Canada. And oh goodness, there are people from everywhere. New Zealand. I'm trying to think of where else. In Finland. Saunas in Finland. Okay. There's some more bits that we're going to use to put words on and stuff on Tuesday and Thursday with Tanya. Okay, so I've got 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those. And that will make my journal look a lot better. And then now I'm going to do 3 more that are just the right size papers and not folded any certain way. Come on, I just need 1. Yay! Cindy's got her avocado skins in a pot. And I just let mine boil for, a couple of hours. I leave the lid on for the first hour or so because that way the water doesn't evaporate away. But if you want it darker, then you can take your lid off for the last hour or so and let it kind of evaporate, which will make it darker. I missed that little bit, didn't I? Okay, let's just... Oh, well, we're just going to leave it. It'll just be pretty. Yeah, I use the pits too. Scrub it all off good first, and then sometimes doing 2 or 3 pieces of paper makes them tear better. Sometimes that doesn't work, but sometimes it does make them tear better. Hi, Maria. So happy you're here. Happy New Year to you. Okay. I think I don't need these 3. And these are all kind of coffee stained papers. So I'm going to not put in the coffee stained papers from, I only have 2 of those. So we'll do one of these. And I'm going to do marbled papers. And that's quite a few pages for an everything book, because it usually bulks up pretty good. That might be too many. Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Thank you. I do have a video where I show, or even a couple of videos where I show how to make this paper if you want to make some for yourself. It's not hard to do. Hey, Kathy D. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Okay. I'm going to put these into signatures, and then I'm going to reassess, because that really may be too much for my book. If I'm going to add a bunch of stuff into it, because I do put Happy Mail and stuff like that in here. And I like to collage. That's my favorite thing to do. So there'll be some of that in here. So, so we will rethink. Okay. So if we've got, I do want one of these in each signature. And one of these. See, that's really not so many, except if you're thinking 3 signatures. Thank you, Janet. Okay. Let's try to figure this out. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of paper. I really think that's going to be plenty. So now I need to decide. I think I'm going to use these because I have 2 others made out of that kind of paper. Yay, please do, Cindy, please do. Okay. I think this is plenty. Because I do have to think about it, and I have a hard time. I always want to put more paper in there than will really fit, because I don't think about the fact that it's, well, I think about it, but I just don't. It's hard to believe that it's really going to turn into something fatter when it's in this state, you know. And then once you get it full, you think, I should have put less paper in there. So, oh yeah, I'd forgotten about the marbled fabric. That is fun too. That is fun too. Okay. And okay. This was extreme avocado. This side's what it usually looks like, but I set it out in the sun and whoo, this side got very, very dark. Okay. I'm going to try to look back and see your question, Barb, because I missed it. Cream of tartar to the water after it boils. I have never tried that. Somebody else said baking soda. Baking soda? Said baking soda did the same thing. So haven't tried that one either. So many things to try. Just not enough time. Okay, here's the starts of another journal. All right, let's just set it in here and see if I'm being ridiculous or if I think I need to go ahead and add more. No, I think that's, for this size spine, I think that's good. It will crunch down, but it's already, it's already like this. So I definitely don't want to, I definitely want to add no more paper than this. So this is 15 sheets of paper. I think I do want to bind them into something else and then glue that in here because I want to save the back of it, I think. Because this, this is a billy goat. It's not exactly something you would stick some lace on the back of. But that's my tendency, is to put lace back here to cover up my binding. Yeah, cream of tartar is expensive for that kind, for a spice type thing. It's pretty expensive here too. Denise says she thinks it has something to do with neutralizing the pH, which may help with the color formation. There is definitely something to that, for sure. I know when I dye my papers in a big aluminum cake pan, and I think there's something to the aluminum that changes the pH, because I can pour that butterfly PT in on my papers and it's just as blue can be. And after it sits in there a little bit, of course, it also has to do with the acid in the papers. When you're using the old papers or spiral bound papers or things like that, they're not necessarily acid free, and so they will change the color of the tea, especially that butterfly PT, because it reacts to acid. But I'll end up with papers everywhere from blue to purple to green. So that's very interesting. Hi, Ray. It's good to have you here. And she says beets. Yes, I have heard people use beets. Oh, I can imagine, Janet, you would need gloves with the beets. And red onions. I used a mixture for these papers. I used a mixture of red onions and yellow onions. And so they came out more, less pink. But red onions will make them more pink if you just use the red ones. The skins on the onions, yes, just the skins on the onions. And I don't know about beets. I haven't done beets. Janet, can you help with the beets? That would be interesting to try, Kathy. Um, Maybe you should try it and let us know. I don't have any poinsettias. I know I'm bad, but I don't have any poinsettias. Or I would try it and see. Okay, so now I need to find something that I'm going to put in the back of that. And I want it to be stiff, but not, maybe not completely rigid. I don't know. It's hard to decide. Okay, this may be silly, but I'm thinking about using a piece of this because it's pretty stiff. It's craft paper with wallpaper Mod Podged onto it. Will that look silly in there? Let's cut a piece the right size and see, because we won't know if we don't. Okay, now I tore this, and I'm trying to remember. Hi, Tanya. It's good to see you. I decided I was going to make a new everything book, and I might as well do it while chatting with people um, instead of just sitting in here by myself. Hmm. Okay. We're going to make it exactly this wide because we figured out earlier that that would fit nicely. And that is too, I'm not going to be able to tear that. I think we're going to have to cut it. Getting ready for some work stuff. All right. This side I know is straight, so. Work is a nasty word, yeah. Oh. Yeah, she did 4-letter words last year, and I hadn't realized how many wonderful positive 4-letter words there are until I had to look up a bunch of them. Okay, I'm going to have to make it a little bit smaller. And you know I can't cut straight, so who knows how this is going to turn out. But yeah, that works. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cindy. That must be very frustrating. Okay, I'm going to mark my holes on the back and punch them from the back. Downside of apartment living, yeah. Upside is no yard work. Unless you love yard work, then that would be a downside. There was a time when I loved yard work, but that time is long gone. Okay, I want this to be on the bottom and that to be on the top. So I'm going to turn it over like this and um, mark my 3 sets of holes. And I'm going to write top because if I don't, I will forget. Oh, okay. Yeah, make sure that's right. The maintenance falls to someone else. Yes, there's that too. Yeah, of course. When it's on me, I can call the plumber. If it's on someone else, I have to wait for them to decide who to use and all of that, and that's frustrating. So, okay. I'm trying to remember. It's about right there. So, okay, right there. All right, sorry. I want them to be pretty much the same. Yeah, it is. Well, that's not centered. I'm just gonna have to eyeball it because I did something wrong there. We'll make a circle instead of a line. Then we'll know. Ah, no matter how many times I do this, I end up doing something that's not quite right. Okay. Oh, go, 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 go. And I think just for ease's sake, I'm going to go ahead and punch this. You could punch it with a pokey tool just fine. Um, oh, it helps if you have it on the right setting. Um, but this way I can do it's faster and I don't have to worry um, about tearing it while I'm trying to poke through it. And since I have this thing, I might as well use it. And you can see my holes are not even. And that's why when I do each one, I mark the holes in the signature by the holes I'm going to put it in and um, not measure them. And we're just going to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, nothing fancy. Okay. Linda, I have no idea why YouTube decided to mark your 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 comment. That is so weird. There's nothing that you said there that anybody should ever object to. That is just, I will never cease to be amazed at the things they decide. You know, they let all kinds of ugly stuff through, and then they mark something like laundry. Okay. I'm going to take this paper and fold it backwards. And this is where I'm going to, and I'm going to put a dot up here to show this is the top, just so I don't forget, because I have done that before. And then I'm going to mark my holes. And then I'm going to come back in here and make them a little more obvious. Make sure they're on the line. And stick it back in the center of my signature. Okay. Now then, I know there are plenty of people who can do this without clamping, but I'm not one of them. I end up having to, even with this, I might could do it with this few papers, but I end up always having to move stuff around. So it's just easier for me if, and sometimes, okay. Chat froze. Oh, okay. I'm in love with your new planner cover too, Tanya. You gotta, well, I guess you can show them Tuesday, but you need to do a video showing it off because it's gorgeous. Well, you can show it tomorrow. I mean, Sunday. This is only Friday. See, this holiday stuff's got me all messed up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull off 3 of these so they'll be done. Bye, Barb. Happy New Year. I'm excited you have a puppy that needs to go out for a walk. I wish I had a puppy that needs to go out for a walk. Needle. Okay. Where did I put that needle? I guess we'll use this one. Excuse me, goodness. Okay. And I'm gonna go from back here. That way my knots can be behind here. And I don't know that it's necessary. It may work better for me just because I'm left-handed, but I always put the back signature in first. That just works better for me. So. Oops, I almost put it in the wrong hole. Wouldn't be the first time. We're just going in and out, down, and then in and out, back up. Just a basic pamphlet stitch. Oh. And then when you get back up here, you just tie it off. And this is where the waxed linen thread comes in very handy if you have it. Let's make sure it's tight first, because I almost didn't. And I've made that mistake before. Okay. Because when you tie the first knot, if you've done this before, you know that when you tie this first knot, if you get it nice and tight, sometimes when you go to tie your second knot, it loosens up. But this waxed linen will not do that. And so you got it nice and and you can wax other thread. I have a, not sure where I put it, but I have just a bar of wax that I wax other thread with. This is just my favorite. And since I'm using my favorite stuffs on this journal, we're going to go ahead and use that too. Bye, Maria. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you for coming. I also go ahead and just I usually use my thumb, but you could use a bone folder and do that down once I've got it in there, because I think it makes it work better with the book. If you compact them now, and make them happy to be in that spot, it works better than trying to do it once you've got them all in there. You can still do it then if you've forgotten, but okay. Now we've got a second one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it out and turn it around. And you don't have to do that. You could do it on this side and then turn it around and put it inside. But if you have a certain place you want your a certain paper you want to be in the middle, then you need to do what you need to do to keep that in the middle. Thank you, Janet. It'd probably be better to do this with pencil, then it won't show as much as if you do it with ink, but I don't worry about that too much, so I just go ahead and do it with ink. There's the top. Okay. Pokey tool. All right. I got that extra piece of thread just sitting over there. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to hit you. Like this. Alrighty, come on. Now we'll go back out and come back in just go the opposite of what we did first. Thank you, Linda. We want to make sure. You want these to be snug, but you don't want them to be so tight you bow your paper. I have done that in the past too. Tightened them too tight, and then that was kind of a nightmare. Okay, maybe not a nightmare, but a bad dream. There is a difference, I think, between a nightmare and a bad dream, but okay, one more. We are getting there. Okay. I think I'm going to do this one this way and just turn it around because I don't really care which one is, which one's in the middle this time. And that will show you that it can be done this way, even though I'm sure all of you figured out what I meant when I said it. It just saves you one turn. Okay. And you don't have to make your dots as big as I make them. I just do that so it's easier for me to see and for you to see. Because if I made those tiny, you wouldn't be able to see them, you know, on the camera. So, well, it gets easier the more you've done it, Denise. I've done it a bunch. I love making journals. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to make journals. So, okay, that still feels funny. I'm not sure why it feels funny, but it does. Maybe it's this one. There we go. Okay, that's better. The sound of the papers is wonderful. I agree. I agree. Okay. And where's my needle? There it is. Hello, Pat. I'm glad you're here. And I do hope that you enjoy those videos that Janet shared. Some of my favorite projects. I love the papers that come out of them. Oops, come back. Oops, that did not work. Okay. There we go. Sometimes you just are, things are not wanting to maneuver as easily as you want them to. That was one of those times. Okay. Making sure I don't lose my string there. And we're going to go back out here. And then back in there. No. There we go. Okay. Now you want to make sure you pull from both strings so that it's tight both places. One thing you could do is you could start each signature in a different place so your strings wouldn't all be in the same spot. If you're using a heavy something and you're doing a hidden binding like this, that might be important. I don't think it's that important here, but it is something you could do to make, have less strings to deal with. And I'm just going to make sure I like it. And then I'll trim those strings off. Okay, let's bind our book here, and I think it's going to be lovely. So now we just need to glue it in and it'll be finished. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim these so they don't stick out. Once they're glued in, it's not like they're going to come untied anyway, so. Okay, now that I'm going to put my glue on here, and then I'm going to turn it upside down in here and stick it down. And then I'll do some push in a bunch of different places trying to hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do is pick it up like this and clamp it shut. And that way, and leave it standing Usually they'll stand up. Leave it standing so that it can glue really good to the bottom. So I think I am going to go ahead and I think I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this, because if I do Yes Paste, I'll have trouble with it getting in those holes, and I don't want to mess with that. So thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Denise. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Janet. Because I'm gluing it to fabric, I am going to put maybe more glue than I would if I was just gluing it to paper. But we really want it to stick, so. Especially on the ends. How much thread to use in the beginning? Let me get this gluing down and we'll talk about that. I usually use, if I don't want to make, if I'm not wanting to put, what do you call that? Tassels or anything like that. If I'm not wanting beads or something like that on my strings, I make them 2.5 times the length of the page. A lot of people say to do 3, but 3 is kind of overkill. One reason it is because you're not going all the way to the edge, so you've already got some extra, and you're only going to have double inside. So 2 would probably be plenty, because I do always cut off some, but I do give myself that extra little bit so it doesn't pull out when I'm trying to thread it through in the back. So I would say 2.5 times. Like I said, some people say 3 times. In fact, 3 times is what I hear most of the time. But I usually, if I'm going to put beads on it, then I do it 3 times. Because that gives you extra, extra stuff, extra room to put your beads on. Hi, Molly. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Now this is what it's going to look like. So you'll be able to see a little bit of my board, but it's kind of pretty in an old-fashioned way. So I think it'll look all right. It doesn't match the fabric, but I'm okay with that. And it looks like it's good all the way around. So now I'm just going to clamp it and let it sit just like that until tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll figure it's dry enough I can use it. So I can't believe it took us an hour and a half to do this, but you can see something got on this book. I noticed that back here, I don't know if somebody dripped their Kool-Aid on it or what, but it was obviously a much used book anyway, because it was not particularly taken care of. Yay, another journal. That's right. That's right. So I'm happy with it. I'm going to set it aside here somewhere where hopefully it won't get knocked over or anything like that. And let's actually put something on the other side of it. That will help it stay put there. These are the pages that were inside it, and you can see it was really torn up. Some of you weren't here when I said this, but this book was from 1906. I think that's right. Yeah, it's from 1906. published in August of 1906. And it's got a lot of really pretty, it's got pretty, pictures in it, and somebody, added their own to it. But it's got pretty black and white pictures. It's also got some pretty color ones. And I'm going to see if I can take this apart gently and scan some of these pages. And if I do, I will, as my New Year's gift to you, even though it may be a month or two from now, I don't know when I'll get it done, but I will put this PDF up, and as long as you don't sell it, you just use it. I don't even mind if you share it with people as long as you don't sell it. I'm just going to give it to you. I won't be selling it to you, but it may take me a little while to get that done. So I hope that will be something y'all will enjoy using. Like I said, some of the pictures and papers are really pretty. I haven't ever done this with a book before. I've wanted to, but I haven't ever done it before because it's a lot of work scanning them in. But I do want to do that with this one, at least, a few of the pages. I'm not sure how many of those pictures it has in it, the color ones, but I'll at least do all of those. And, because they're really nice. I was going to see if it says anything, if it gives any credit to the artist, or illustrated by Hugo von Hofsten. This one, somebody, let's see if we can erase that. There's a D on here. I don't want to mess up the picture by erasing the D, but I do want to get it off if I can. It mostly came off. That's not bad. Okay. A great start to 2021. I agree. Also, the other thing I was going to do, and I'm just going to share this idea with you. If you're doing the scavenger hunt, I printed off 2 of these lists for Janet Young's scavenger hunt. And one of them I trimmed down, and then I drew lines, because the way I do the scavenger hunt, or the way I did it last year, and I really loved it, was I had each page numbered. And then whatever I used from this list on that page, I would write the page number to each one of these things that I used. So I could go back at any time and say, oh, I did lyrics from a song on page 46. Or I did a ransom note on page 12. And so I also have the numbers. So if somebody says, have you been able to find number 57? I can look and know what 57 is. Let me show you how I changed it last year. Because I like this a little better than that, if I can find it. Last year I drew the lines and made the and wrote down where I put everything. But there were no numbers, 1 to 100 like there are on here. And that's just because she didn't have them on her page last time. What was it I was going to say that I liked better about this? Oh, maybe it was that there is numbers of the items. But also, I went all the way across, which makes it easier for me to be sure, instead of just writing it out beside. I thought about just writing it out beside there, but I was afraid I'd get off kilter and my numbers would not be, wouldn't be good. So I'm gonna, this is my scavenger hunt journal that I'm going to do the scavenger hunt in, and there are 100 items this year. And Janet M. Young, oh, thank you, Janet. She reads my mind. she introduced this um, last night in the live stream at about midnight. So, and she has a link there, so where you can print this off. Um, and I like this much better than the way I did it. The first time I did it in the composition book. That's the way everybody was doing it the first time. And I don't like working in composition books. And so, and I just found, had one page for each item, and I just found as many of that item as I could and glued it onto the page. And it was fun to do, but it wasn't as fun as trying to create pages somehow with the items like I did this time last year. And I made my own book last year, and I liked that better too. So I have kept that. But I also printed a second sheet, and I'm going to tape it down to the back of this pocket. And you could put it on an envelope or whatever. But I'm going to use this to keep my stuff that I gather up and just put it in here. And that way I won't lose it. Last year I had a box I was sticking stuff in, but I was constantly losing that box. Of course, I could lose this too, but I'm hoping that this will stay with the journal, and so it'll be easier. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tape that down right now while I'm thinking about it. And as I find these things, I'm just going to either draw a line through it or check mark it off or something like that. So, yeah, lots of us are doing it, and some of us will be doing it on video, and some of us will not be doing it on video. And you don't have to make videos. You don't have to post pictures or anything like that to do it. But we would love to see it. Like Tanya said, we would love to see it if you do. And it's fun and show pages as you go, because we can inspire each other that way. And some of them, if you can't find the item, she said you can draw it, or you can come up with some other way to use that prompt. It's about being creative. And bye, Denise. Thanks for coming. It's about being creative and thinking about, these kinds of items maybe in a different way, and inspiring yourself to make art with them. As Janet says, there are no rules except you have fun with it. Okay, now I want to get my first book and just compare it for a few minutes to last year's book. If I can get to it. All right. Well, where is it? Oh, that's not what I thought it was. Okay, it's going to take me just a second to find it. Nope, that's not it either. I see I've only done things in three different. Oh, now I can't even get that one back up. Goodness gracious. I've only used composition books for 3 different things because I don't really like working in them, so I thought it would be easy to find. Oh, there it is. Easy to find, not easy to get to. Okay. Woo! Okay. I did it in this composition book in 2018. And this is basically what it was. I just, each item was numbered. I just put my list here. And you can do it this simply. This was how I did it the first time. And you just mark it off as you go. And I made a page for each one of these things. So page number 1 was tea bag, envelope, or tag. So I used some of all of those things, and it's just like a collection, basically a collection book or an in mass book or something like that. It's what this turned out to be. Number two was probably coloring book page. Let's see. Yeah, coloring book page colored. Number three was clothing tags. No, label off blanket, towel, or clothing. So I had a bunch of clothing tags. I just tried to put as many things of each one as I could. Number four was ask a neighbor for something to put in the book. My mom gave me these things. These came off of their one of the tours that they took, a concert tour. And then this was just something that she had in her house. And I didn't do anything on the opposite sides of most of these because I had plenty of pages. Number six, let's see, why did I put Morgan Freeman in here? Number six, photo of a celebrity, love or hate. I love Morgan Freeman. So I put him in my book. And one of them was a puzzle, a card. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Number 9. Greeting card sentiment. I just put the whole card on there. And number 10 was, and I tried to be creative somewhat with it, junk mail envelope doodle on it. There was, I think that was a receipt from a craft store or craft supply receipt or something like that. Let's see. What's it? Craft or art store receipt. Those kinds of things are not going to be in this year's, because this year she doesn't want to make you leave the house to go find things. So that won't be in this year's. This was dry cleaning tags. All we get is receipts. So I just stuck those in there. Newspaper article. Anyway, you can see that I just basically, put stuff in. Here's quotes, doodles. I was not inspired for that one, so I just put a bunch of doodles all over it. Doodling's not my favorite thing to do. I like it more now than I did then, but I know how to doodle better now than I did then. This was duct tape. This was plaid, I think. Crayons, ribbon, postcards, rag flag. I need to take these out and use them because I did a bunch of them. So that was how I did it in 2018. And I wasn't that excited by this. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't excited enough to do it again in 2019 because I thought this was how I had to do it. And I wasn't a composition book girl. But in 2020, I heard her say, make collages with it, make art with it. Don't, you do it in anything you want. And so this is the book that I did in 2020. And some things are just glued in, but I tried to make them fit with what was on the page. I tried to make it kind of arty somewhat. And you can see there's a completely different vibe to this book. And this was a tribute to someone you love. This was a tribute to my grandmothers. There was Baby Yoda. And that was 2020's. And I can now say this is last year's scavenger hunt book. So, and that's what this book inspired me. This book brought me great, great joy. I enjoyed the whole process. And so I decided to do something similar this year and it's not as junk journal-y. I mean, it is and it isn't, depending on depending on your definition of junk journal. To me, this is a junk journal, but it's not the purest definition of junk journal. So this is my book for this year. Anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that your style can impact the book and the way you use the things that you put in it. And I did manage to finish the scavenger hunt, and I found everything, or I made it up, or whatever. And so I'm looking forward to it this year. Anyway, I hope that those two ways of doing it can show you. It can be as simple as just gluing stuff down, or you can try to turn it into collages or whatever. Anyway, I hope that blessed you in some way and makes you eager to go out and do the scavenger hunt with us. The more of us that do it, the more likely she is to keep on doing it, because when you do something every year and you feel like 5 people do it, it makes it, especially something as much work as putting together this list, that makes it harder to do, every year and to keep up with and all that. So we want her to know her work is appreciated. Well, good. I'm glad, Cindy. I'm glad that it helped you to see what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to using it. I did last night put numbers on each page while I was watching her. And then I printed this off and I drew my lines. And then I didn't realize it hadn't dried completely. So when I went to ink the page, I got all these little messy spots. But I kind of like it. It kind of looks aged that way, to have all the places where the ink bled. So I just printed it exactly like she had it, and then I drew my lines. I didn't try to print it as a list. I printed it like this. This is exactly what she had on her page. Is this what you're wanting, Candy, or were you wanting it printed some different way? Because I can print it off and send it to you. If you want me to, I'll print it off and send it to you. Because this is how mine printed out. Sherry's handwriting it. But Sherry, in the future, when you look back at that book, it'll be even more special because you did, I think. Okay, Candy. Do I have your address? If I don't, my email, let me put my email in here so you can, it's in the description box, but anyway, it's TALKTO, talk to me at DLC96.com. Sometimes when people put it in, they put D1C, but it's DLC. So anyway, if you will send me your address in an email, that way I can be sure I've got it. And I will, well, do you need me to send it to you too, Linda? If you'll send me an email with your address, I'll send it to you. I don't mind. If I'm going to print one, I can print 2 just as easy. No problem. Well, I thought yeah, I did. Okay. I was going to say, I thought I put that up there. And if somebody else needs me to send them the list, just send me an email and I'll print it off and send it to you. Send me an email with your address. I don't mind doing that at all, because I know what it's like when my printer is not working or I can't figure out how to print something. And this I was managed to be able to print. So okay, that'll be fine, Linda. Okay, well, I think that bye-bye, Tanya. I hope your work is profitable. Love you. Bye-bye. What is the list? The list is the 100 things on the scavenger hunt that we're going to find and glue into this book. That's what the list is. That'll be fine, Linda. Well, it was in her live stream. She posted it in the comments. Are the comments not available on that live stream last night? She posted it several times in the live stream in the chat. I thought she was going to add it in her description box. But if you can find it in the chat, I know it was posted several times in the chat. Because that's where I got it from, was in the chat. Yeah, in the comments. And I'll have to go back and look for it again because I just printed it off. I don't think I actually downloaded it. So. But I imagine she will come back and put it in the description box. She just hasn't done that yet. So. Okay. Deborah says, and Linda say it is in the chat. So. And Debbie says the same thing. So. That's good. Oh, I need to put my needle up. I put the book up, but I didn't put the needle up. See? And that's the point of having this, so I don't lose my needles. I'm going to stick this one right there because I use it a lot. Okay. This is a lovely needle book that Journey Stoneman made and sent to me. And she added some goodies in it, which I'm just leaving in it for right now. But I love it. It's so pretty. See, there's some more goodies. And some little scissors, snippy scissors, and a stocking. Isn't that cute? Love it, love it. Okay, Pat, that'll be fine. Email me and send me your address, and I'll just print it off and stick it in an envelope, mail it to you. All right. Well, you can wait for it to get in the description box if you don't want to dig through the chat, because I feel sure she will put it in the description box. She just hasn't yet. So, Janet, if you find it, would you when you find it, if you do, would you go ahead and just stick it in the group, post it in the group so everybody can find it easy, in my Facebook group? If you don't find it, I'll post it when I find it, but it'll be later today before I can have time to look for it. So it is darling, isn't it? I love it too. It just makes me feel loved just to touch it. It's so squishy and it's wonderful. Okay. I'm going to let you all go because I have other things I need to do. So, hello, Val. It's good to see you. And Val says it might be in her community tab, and that's possible. Janet found it, so she's going to post it in my Facebook group. If you're not a member of my Facebook group and you're a subscriber, you're welcome to join the Facebook group. You do have to answer 3 questions, so I know you're legit, but and my Facebook group is the same name as my channel, Lisa My Eclectic Life. If you just go on Facebook and look for it, you can find it. And Janet has posted it several times in the chat during this stream, so you can go back and look at that too if you want to and see if you can find it. So, love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.